Hello, and this is Zero, the Heartless King, and with me today is my first guest that's going to help me with my reviews. Say hello.
Hello, people.
And if you watch his videos, it is DemonVic, the anime guy, or DemonVic for short. Now, first thing I would like to say is that, well, it's time for another review. I would like to thank TarakuNaruto, sorry for pronouncing your name wrong, for requesting this. It is Chrono Trigger. Now I'm reviewing the SNES version.
And I
Piece,
would also like to apologize because it's my fault that the request had to be delayed so long, but my old
it's okay.
mic
It's not
sucked.
really your
Now
fault
I
too.
got a better mic, so get on with this review, shall we?
Okay, and the first thing I gotta say is, back then, whenever the games first came out, there was always three games that were the most at least appreciated. Earthbound, another one that name escapes me for a moment, and Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was most voted to be the most popular, and now that I've finally managed to play it, I understand why. First part of the story is that the main character Chrono well, has to help a princess because she fell back into a time period. A simple story, actually. Pretty neat one since it involves time travel and all that. Do something in the past, you'll change the future. And then later on, it turned into this whole epic thing where a god destroys the world in a certain time period, and everyone that's with Chrono Trigger's party is trying to stop this monster. What makes this game very cool is that this is one of the first, at least as far as I know, SNES games where they kill off the main character. Oh, spoilers. Forgot to mention. But you know what? Reviews are gonna come with spoilers, so you know what? Wah. You can bring them back, or you don't have to. That's what makes this game very neat. It has multiple endings as well. Each one of them you can get at different points of the game. It also has a New Game Plus feature, since that's the only way you can get another ending. Any thoughts you have on Chrono Trigger Demon Vic?
Um, well, let me just. I'm mainly a uh first-person shooter person, but playing that game, because the only RPGs I really liked was the Legacy Goku games on Game Boy. But
Game Boy
I
Advance.
played that game and I thought it was pretty cool. Because it was very creative and original and had a lot of fun value to it, rather than most games you would see.
Yes, because usually whenever you think of RPG, you think Final Fantasy kind of thing, like goblins, ghosts, and ghouls, stuff like that. In this game, you do fight them, but you can also go to the future and fight robots, aliens, and that's my phone, of course. But well, let's continue with this review. Anything you would like to say about the game Demon Vic?
Well, for one thing, it's a strategy game. You have to have a battle strategy. You have to have a strategy to keep your people healthy. You have to have a strategy for practically every step you take. Because it all affects your gameplay. And like I would have to say, the game is a lot of fun because of it. Because you're also thinking about things like, like what am I going to do when I enter this room? What if this enemy appears? How am I going to heal this person? And it takes a lot for understanding and everything else.
Exactly. And there's there's also two ways to go into this game as well. There's a lot of optional stuff that'll take plenty of hours of gameplay, especially how games were back then. Not much games had that sort of optional thing. I don't think even the Final Fantasy games back then had that much. Or also you could just breeze through the game to see the fastest ending as possible.
Well, see, another thing is the game was so good that they actually created a Nintendo DS version, which I wish I could play, but I can't. And,
I'll
yeah.
think of getting it. It looks very good.
See, the only problem though is emulator play may be a little harder than you'd think to use because, well, I got to like the first boss and I couldn't beat him because my characters were too low down and I wasn't able to revive them. So yeah.
And now mind you, DemonVic's not that really good at playing RPGs. That's why he would die that fast. So, it's not his fault. He's just not used to playing RPGs, and I kind of threw this at him. But well, it depends on how good you are in RPGs to get really that far. But well, the graphics on Chrono Trigger are very well done. I didn't see any mistakes at all. Not anything wrong with the spelling as far as I saw. Yeah, it had a few glitches, minor glitches here and there.
And all of that. See, another aspect of the game would be the unique, like, predictivity of the characters. Like, you'd think Chrono has a bladed sword, and it's actually a wooden sword, but he's like chopping enemies in half. And you got a variety of characters, and a lot of characters do fight in the game. Like Luca, for example. You think she'd never be in battle because, who she remind you of? She reminds me of Bulma from Dragon Ball Z, but surprisingly, she shortly after you play the game, you get to play as her, and she backs you up and everything and stuff like that. So do you get to play as a frog? And
Robot, a
yeah.
princess with a crossbow, the evil warlord that commands demons that has a scythe. He's optional, just to tell you. Let's see, who else was there? Oh yes, a prehistoric girl that has fighting abilities like a cat.
So basically, the game is quite original and very fun to play. It's recommended to uh, anybody who likes games should try it out at least because you'll probably get hooked on it.
And what makes this a very good game is, take DemonVic for example. He just played, his favorite type of games are mostly shooters. I asked him to play this RPG and now he's hooked onto it. This is actually a very good RPG to get people who are not into these into it.
So pretty much to put it down, Demon Vic's rating of the game would be a 9.5.
I would give it 9.5, a 9.5 as well. Story, I give it the perfect 10. It's very original. It has nothing else from anything from other things, but yet other people steal from this.
And also a bonus to add in, the characters in the game, like if you see their pictures or anything, the drawing style is from, I think, is either similar or is from the guy who drew Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think even one of the endings has like a small thing of it. But well, I think we're almost out of time here, so we shall wrap up this review.
Play the game if you can, and if you can't, then go.
Emulate.
Oh, Well, this is DemonVic out and Zero.
Zero's our heartless king.
Bye.
See ya.